I've been doing a lot of videos lately on creative and simple ways to edit your clips to put onto YouTube. I use a video capture card, which is what you're looking at here, but the setup is cumbersome. I have a capture card, I have an external microphone, I have USB ports connected everywhere, trying to get you guys a nice quality picture with nice audio overlay. You could also use a second computer if you wanted to capture video that way. You could also stream via the internal PlayStation application to capture it from another computer, or you can press and hold the capture button. And by pressing and holding the capture button, you can go over here to the capture options menu, and selecting on that, just go ahead and make sure that you're using the most compatible MP4 format. It'll look a little bit cleaner than the most efficient WebM format. It'll take a little more hard drive space, but I think you're going to be more satisfied with that recording. Also, make sure if you want to include your microphone audio from your DualSense or from your headset, you select that button. And if you're playing with friends and you want to hear them or not, you turn that on or off as well. And then all you do is you just start recording by going over here and hitting Start New Recording, and your recording will begin. Okay, simple enough. Now, these recordings will last as long as your hard drive has space. I've recorded over an hour just to see if I could, and I do have an I do have an internal upgrade. So on my PlayStation 5 Pro, I do have an additional 4 terabyte card. So I could record for a very long time, but I'll tell you that long recordings still don't take up nearly as much space as you do. This isn't perfect quality. This is a loss quality. It's not lossless, especially with the MP4 format. So keep that in mind. It's not going to look perfect, but it's going to look good enough. And I think it's good enough to put original content out there if it's something you're interested in doing. Now, remember that when you're recording in real time, you can annotate your video right there on the fly. Include your mic audio. As you're playing, you can speak into your controller. You can tell your audience what you're doing, and you will be able to have all of that captured together in one fell swoop. But when you're done with all that, I encourage you to check out Share Factory. Share Factory has undergone some significant overhauls in the last few years, and I think it's a pretty nice toolbox for you to utilize. So when you open up Share Factory, you're going to go over to the video editor and you're going to select New Project. Pretty simple. Here you're going to be given an option of creator packs. Now these do come over time. Yours might look different than mine because I've gone through and downloaded a lot of these. A lot of these are like basically little free DLCs. But they're basically intro and outro buffers that are already made for you to utilize with custom transitions as well. We're going to go ahead and just select the default PlayStation Creator Pack. And here you're presented with some intros to select from. If you want to see what the intro is, all you do is tap R2 on your controller and you'll be presented with a brief video of what those specific video clips are. So if you wanted to have 3 intros and really hype up the audience, I guess you could. I wouldn't recommend it. Same with the outro. You can have multiple outros, including what they call stinger clips. Stinger clips are kind of those little snap clips that present at the end of your video. Typically, you'd have your subscribe buttons here on the left or right if you wanted to get into the YouTube stuff. But the reality is, I would recommend just leaving a few. The ones you select by pressing the cross button will have checks in the bottom corner. So as you can see here, I've turned them all off. Now I've turned a few on. And then once you pick the clips that you want for your canned intro and outro, you could scroll down and you'll see here a list of all of the videos that I have recorded on my PlayStation. And here you can go ahead and select the content you want. If you don't remember what it is, simple enough, just press R2 and it will actually begin playing the video for you so you can see what you want. Once you have all of your stuff selected, make sure you have a check mark for the intro, the outro, and the video that you want. Go ahead and hit square to start your project. And it'll ask you what the project name you want is. By default, it's selected as PlayStation. This is only relevant if you plan on doing multiple videos and you want to come back later and you want to remember the name of it, or you want to show your friends offline or something like that. It doesn't really matter too much. And here is the timeline. This is where all the magic happens. Now, It is incredibly intuitive. Everything that you want to see and do is listed out very easily for you on the screen. I recommend using the right analog stick to buffer through different parts of your video clip. It's up to you. You could also use the touchpad. I don't find it nearly as reliable nor as smooth as the right analog stick. But here you're selected with all of your stuff. Obviously, we already selected our bumper video. At any time, we can press R2, by the way, and it'll show us that clip of video in case we forgot what it was. Notice it just seamlessly runs from clip to clip to clip, and you can see what your video is. But I'm gonna guess after your recording is done, you feel like you probably have a little too much fluff and you wanna get into the action. So the easiest way to do that is across the bottom there. You can see the wrench icon, which is next to square. We're gonna go ahead and hit that. That is pretty much your main menu. Here is where you're going to be able to do most of the heavy lifting, splitting clips, trimming clips, doing overlays, zooming in on a particular part of the clip, adjusting the volume of a particular part of the clip, doing time bender, which is like the boomerang effect that you see sometimes on Instagram. We're just gonna go ahead for the sake of simplicity and select split clip. We're gonna go ahead and X to confirm that. Now you'll notice that at the bottom left, the wrench icon is gone because we're actually in a submenu right now. From here on out, X or cross will be our action button. If at any time I press circle, which looks like I'm going back, well, that's exactly what I do. I go back to the previous menu. This is kind of like the main menu. And from here, I can hit square again and go back in and select a different feature to play with. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna split the clip. We're gonna split it right about here. We're gonna press X and it's gonna say, are you sure you wanna split the clip? Yes, I do. And you'll notice the timeline now has a distinct break in it. You have a left and a right. And from here, I can add in transitions in between those two. Most likely you're gonna be doing cleanup here. They already assumed you're doing that. Notice that the square button has now been replaced with a garbage can. So by hitting square, I can delete this clip and now it's gone and I can firm up part of my video. If I want to get to a specific point, I can go ahead and trim that piece out. And at any time, if I am not happy with the menu I'm in, super easy. I just go ahead and hit circle and I go back one menu, then I can hit square and I can begin to do other things. You see there is a lot of action here. There's a lot of things going on. There's editing overlays, which allows you to have multiple timelines going, where you can transition from video A to video B very seamlessly. The pan tilt zoom option allows you to zoom in on a very particular part of your video. Let's say you really want to look at the back of your Helldiver's head for whatever reason. Well, you can do that too and go ahead and hit confirm. And now you can see that my video clip, probably get you a little dizzy, is zoomed way in on this particular part of the video. Now, remember that any editing you do will be affected on this entire timeline. So notice how when I zoomed in, the whole video became zoomed in. It's like, uh-oh, maybe that's a little much. And what you want to do in that case is you just want to go ahead and split out this section. So that's why I say split clip will probably be your friend, because only the effects that you change in that split clip will actually be impacted just in that little piece of the timeline. So if I go ahead in here and I go to pan and zoom again, this time I zoom way out, right? Let's go back to see all the action here. And I go ahead and hit confirm. Notice that my video, I'm gonna go ahead and play through it, it's zoomed in. And then for that specific section, it zooms out. Now it looks normal again. And then you'll notice that at that transition, because I only impacted that, it zooms back in. So keep that in mind as you edit your timeline. When you're done and you're satisfied, you're going to go ahead and hit circle, and then you can go into actually saving the project and exiting it. You can share the video, you can upload the video, that sort of thing. And from here, if your YouTube or your Twitch account is linked, you will be able to upload this to your account and you'll be able to share the video with your friends. So in this case, we're just gonna go ahead and hit share video and exit. And what's gonna happen is it's going to render. Now it renders in real time. So if your video is a minute long, it will take a minute to render. If your video is 3 hours long, even though there's an 80-minute cap, if it's an 80-minute video, right, it will take 80 minutes to render. So This is something that I'd recommend like before you go to bed for the night, or when you have some downtime, not in the middle of a game. Don't do this then, because it's going to lock up your PlayStation. You're going to be stuck. I can't leave the screen. I can't go to another game. I'm just waiting for this to finish. I'd recommend doing this after you've got all your edits. That's the nice thing. You can save, come back to it later, but hey, getting ready to go to bed now, or going out to go for a bike ride or something, now it's a good time to go ahead and render the video. And you'll see here, it says your video has now been saved to your media gallery. And all I got to do is hit share. And it's going to pop up and it's going to ask me where I want to share. And I could share it directly with my friends, or I could share it to, in this case, my YouTube account, which is already linked. If I go ahead and hit my YouTube account here, if I wanted to, I could type out the new description. I can make it public or private. I can add in my tags, all my other information here. I'd recommend doing this on your actual computer. So what I'd recommend is setting this to either private or unlisted. Then go ahead and upload the video. It's going to take some time. Then you could go on your computer and you can fine tune all of the thumbnails and the description and all the blocks and everything that you want. But Share Factory is an incredibly, incredibly powerful tool, and I do recommend it. And I have done videos in the past. I've uploaded them as I did this entirely on my PlayStation. And you can get fancy with stickers and transitions. And if you have a PlayStation camera, which I do not, but if you did, you can actually do video overlay where you can talk and you can have a picture in a picture, kind of like what I do through OBS. You can do directly on the PlayStation. It's a very, very functional tool. Yes, it is entry level. There are some more glamorous things that you could do on better editing software than on here. But it's a great way to get started and it doesn't cost you a penny. It's built into your PlayStation 5 or your PlayStation 5 Pro, ready for you to use. I hope you guys found this video interesting and informative. If you did, throw me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Share Factory. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.